Filmmakers buy gear. Sometimes it's easy to tell that you should avoid a piece of gear. Who is buying an anamorphic lens for a GoPro? Or a GoPro in general when we have DJI? To be honest, even this DJI product turned out to be a slight waste of money for me because it's not truly an action cam, and this one is. Sometimes you do decide to buy a piece of gear and you use it for a little while before it starts collecting dust. Here are 6 pieces of gear to avoid and what you should get instead. Item number 1, a shoulder camera bag. Now, there is nothing wrong with a shoulder camera bag in itself. However, if you're planning to capture footage when hiking, there is a much better alternative. And it's this little piece of metal. It got recommended to me when I told a filmmaker friend of mine I was going on a hike, and it's something I should have gotten a long time ago. It looks a little like a fidget toy, which it also is. So this is the camera backpack quick release clamp from Freewell. There's also other companies that make these as well. This one happens to be from Freewell. I first thought of getting a small camera shoulder bag for this hike, but I'm so happy I decided to go with this little item instead. On this hike I was already wearing a backpack for water and other stuff, so a shoulder bag for a camera would have been quite clumsy. This little clamp allows you to carry your camera on your chest because it attaches to a strap of your backpack. You can do like a tactical quick draw with your camera because of this clamp. It allows you to always have your camera on your chest whilst walking. I'll put a link to the clip in the description. Item number 2, ND filters. ND filters, they are great. I would absolutely recommend getting an ND filter for your lens so you can get the right aperture and motion blur when shooting. However, when I got my first ND filter for my camera and I went out on my bicycle to get shots, every single time I had to take off the lens cap of my lens, grab my ND filter box, get the ND filter out of a little box, screw it onto my lens, and then realize that whatever I wanted to film had already passed.
Oh, damn it.
So I had to screw the ND filter off, put it back in a little box, put the box in my bag, put the lens cap on, put the camera in the back, and by that time my bike would have already gotten stolen. Now, don't get rid of your ND filter because ND filters, they are great. Add something to it, which is a specific ND filter cover for your ND filter. When I did this, things were much more convenient and I really wish someone would have recommended this to me a lot earlier. You can now store your camera with your ND filter and cover, and when something special occurs, you can just take the cover off and start shooting immediately. Item number 3, a regular backpack for your gear. When I first started filmmaking, I used a regular backpack for my gear, which wasn't the worst. However, if you start accumulating a bit more gear, at some point grabbing gear from your bag starts feeling like a treasure hunt, and also it's not really protected. So about 4 years ago, I got this proper camera backpack. It's already getting it has some wear and tear to it, but I still absolutely love it. And it makes carrying your gear much more convenient and safe. It's the Lowe Pro Protectic BP450 AW2. It's not a joke. Sounds like space equipment, but it could be because it's so versatile. It has a modular design, which means for every different shoot, you can change the inside of it to make all of your gear fit perfectly. Also, I use it every day when I go to my office and put my MacBook in it. It has a cute rain cover. You can open it from 4 different sides. It's strong, so it protects all of your gear. You can add accessories to the bag. And also, when I went on the hike, I was looking for a new bag, but then I remembered I got a waist belt with this bag, so didn't even need to buy a new one. The only downside was that it is 2.8 kilograms, so it is quite heavy, especially for a hiking bag. Also considering that in addition to those 2.8 kilograms, you're also going to bring camera gear. So it's not the most lightweight bag. Item number 4, getting an expensive camera body with a cheap lens. Now, a mistake many beginner filmmakers make is getting an expensive camera body, blowing all of your budget on this, and then forgetting that you also have to spend money on the lens. The lens you use often has a greater, more visible impact on the final look and quality of your footage than the camera body itself. The camera body, it definitely also is important, but don't forget the lens. I would advise you, if you get a camera body and a lens, just get one proper lens, like one really good proper lens with different focal lengths, so you can use it for almost all of your shots. I practice what I preach because when I bought the Sony FX3, I bought the latest version of the Sony 24-70 G Master lens, the second version, the G Master 2 lens. It was more expensive than the first version, but I thought I just want one proper lens that I spend a bit of extra money on because I'll be using it all the time. Yeah, it was a good investment. Later, I did end up buying another lens, a beautiful fisheye lens that I love, but honestly, I rarely use it. As a skateboarder, I don't think you're allowed to not have a fisheye lens for your main camera though. Also, another great excuse for getting an expensive lens. Lenses tend to hold their value much better than camera bodies over time. So you're actually investing by doing this. It's called filmmaking math. Item number 5, a cheap tripod. You can get away with a cheap tripod many times, but the one time you don't, you really don't. Now, I know buying an expensive tripod as a beginner filmmaker is not something you want to do because it's a really boring item. However, a good tripod is really a good long-term investment. The first tripod I bought was a refurbished one of great quality. I added one of those fluid heads to the tripod and I ended up using it for years. Only recently I decided I wanted something of great quality that was a lot easier to carry, so I bought a slightly more expensive travel tripod. And I do have to say it may be a bit on the expensive side, especially for something this lightweight, but it is really cool and it will save me some back pain when I'm older, hopefully. It's also from Freewell. It's very lightweight, only 0.9 kilograms and very compact. It's also strong, not as strong as a proper heavy tripod, of course, but it has a head with fluid video head capabilities, not a real fluid head, of course. It has an Arca Swiss mount. That means you can use this stuff with a lot of other stuff. Only thing is, tripod is not that tall. It goes up till 150 centimeters, which is perfect for most shoots, but sometimes I was like, just need a bit extra. Item number 6, the single battery charger. Usually when you buy a camera, you get a battery charger included that can charge one battery at a time. A single battery charger might seem sufficient at first, but it quickly becomes a bottleneck when you're traveling or shooting intensively. And that is where multi-battery chargers like this one become a lifesaver. One night when I was camping in a remote location, I was able to charge 4 batteries overnight by plugging in 2 of these chargers. And by morning, not only I was fully charged, but all of my camera gear was too. Please let me know if you have any items, filmmaking gear that you bought that you wish you would have avoided. Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.